Good morning and welcome to BOTB HQ in Parsons Green, South West London. My name is Christian Williams, the presenter here at BOTB. And we're here this morning to judge the latest midweek car competition, which ran from the 3rd to the 9th of September 2020. And just before I hand over to our lawyer this morning, once again, massive congratulations to last week's winner of the BOTB midweek car competition, Nicola Elphick, winning that incredible Renault Megane RS Cup Plus, £10,000. I'm now going to pass over to Alex Evans from Onside Law, who will oversee the proceedings this morning.
Thanks, Christian. I'm Alex Evans from Onside Law, and I'll be overseeing the judging this morning. Firstly, I can confirm that all the competition data has been passed to the auditing company as ETS. I would now like today's judges to introduce themselves and, using the secure link provided, mark on the screen where they think the centre of the ball should be. Then, at the end, each judge will justify their position and the group will come to a final panel decision.
Good morning, my name is Alain Goma. I'm an ex-professional footballer, having played for Paris Saint-Germain, Newcastle and Fulham.
My name's Liam Walsh. I'm a retired referee after 23 years. I'm currently a referee observer and head coach for the Middlesex Referees Academy.
I'm Nigel Hicks. I've been a Supplier League match official for best part of 30 years, and I'm also an experienced football administrator.
Hi, my name is Aaron Mendonca. I've been involved in football for over 30 years, firstly as a player and then as a referee.
Good morning, my name's Peter Giorgio and I am a futsal and football referee.
Good morning, my name's Renee Hector. I'm a player for Watford FC Women and a coach for Tottenham Hotspur Foundation.
Alan, please talk us through your decision.
Okay, thanks, Alex. So we've got 4 players in the shot. Focus mainly on the 2 players on the foreground, the player in the middle with the white shirt and the player on the right with the orange shirt. We couldn't see much of the eyes of the players in the background. So that's why I focused on these 2 players mainly. My first impression was that, the player with the white shirt in the middle was waiting for the ball to drop, and he was going to, to hit it with a powerful header. When you look at him, there's a bit of space around him. He looks quite relaxed, and he's got his arms up, which is telling me that he's preparing for probably a powerful header. But when I looked closely at the play on the right-hand side, he seems to be on the move, and it looks like he's preparing to jump and maybe try to nick the ball before it lands on the head of the player with the white shirt. So, but I think both of them are looking quite. Actually, the player with the white shirt is looking quite stiffly. He's got his head tilted backwards, and he's looking, quite high up. And same with the player on the right-hand side. I think he's got his head backwards. He's looking up diagonally. So where these 2 meet, this is where I thought the center of the ball was.
Thanks, Alan. Liam, please talk us through your decision.
Thank you, Alex. So a little bit different from Alan. I believe that the guy centrally in the white shirt, I think he's shaping up to chest the ball down, is my interpretation of his body language. His eye line, when you look closely at his eyes, they're tilted really upwards. So that's why I've got that direction. And then I've got the guy behind in the orange shirt. I think he's looking. I think the distance between them is too great for him to actually to challenge, to get a header in. I think he's just looking at the ball. Possibly then he's going to shut the player down. And but his headline and his eye line give me that pathway that realistically all 6 of us are on. But it's just about, I feel that the guy in the white shirt gives me that drop. I feel the ball's dropping into him, and I feel that that his body language, his arms are shaping up that he's going to chest the ball down. And that's why I put my cross where I did, which is the green cross.
Thanks, Liam. Nigel, please talk us through your decision.
Oh, thanks, Alex. Good morning, everyone. So, like my colleagues, consider that the ball is dropping towards the white player. I think that the player in orange behind him is trying to close that distance, and I felt that the body language of the player in white led me to feel that there's more time until the ball reaches him. I didn't feel it was right on top of him yet, and hence I've got my cross further away than some of my colleagues. But following the same eye line, I feel that it's dropping towards him. I felt the body language of the player in white was that if he was about to meet the ball with his head, I felt his head would be extended more. It looks as though he's pulling it back to possibly to meet it or to gather it on his chest. But just I felt there was a bit more time till that happens. I feel the two players in the background, it's difficult to tell because their eyes are blurred, but I think they're just watching their two colleagues.
Thanks, Nigel. Ari, please talk us through your decision.
Thanks, Alex. Well, we have two players in the periphery, which they are too further away to give any solid information to me. I feel that the player in white in the middle is in a very dynamic movement. He's with his arms high in the air to give him an extra boost to his jump. His head is tilted. He's looking up slightly to the left. His facial expression tells me that he's too relaxed and that the ball is not close to his face yet. On his back, orange has a little bit of a gap between him and the player in front of him. I felt that he lost the momentum for this challenge, but he's still going up. He's looking at the ball. So I cross-referenced both eye lines and decided that the center of the ball should be where my orange cross is.
Thanks, Ari. Peter, please talk us through your decision.
Yeah, mine is the grey-white cross in that little cluster of floor four just off to the left, in agreement that the player in white in the centre is favourite for the ball. Looking at his body language and the shape of his head and his arms, I believe he's going to be heading this ball. The player behind him, he's there, but I don't think he's really influencing the actual play itself. Looking straight through the back of the player in white, and I've judged the distance away from the player in white in the middle. He's favourite for the ball, at the ball dropping in, so he's going to raise and jump up to head the ball. So that's why I got it closer than the other two on the far left, and that's where I put the centre of the ball with the eye line between the player in white in front and the player behind who's got a good eye line. So that's where I put the centre of the ball is where the white cross is.
Thanks, Peter. And Renee, please talk us through your decision.
Thank you, Alex. Mine is the pink cross, which is the highest one, a little bit further away. Similarly to some of the other guys, the player in white seems quite relaxed, like the ball's not quite on top of him yet. So that's why I felt it was a little bit further away. And I'm obviously assuming that the player in white is the attacking player and the player in orange is the defensive player. Judging by the player in orange body position and the little gap between them as well, it looks like he's going to have a bit of momentum to sort of explode up and try and clear the ball. But because there's a little bit of a gap in between them, I felt that the ball was maybe a little bit further away to give him some time to go and explode and go and attack the ball. So that's why my pink cross is a little bit further away, because I don't think it's quite on top of them yet. And I think they've got a little bit of time to go and attack the ball, judging by the player in orange's body position and the fact that he's clearly bending to go and jump, and the player in white looks a little bit too relaxed at this point for the ball to be that close to him.
Thanks, Renee. Judges, please now come to a final panel decision. For your information, the larger white cross is the calculated average of the 6 individual selections.
Okay. Yeah, no, yeah, it looks like we've got a cluster of 4 crosses here and another 2 slightly higher and a bit more on the left. Let's start, by drawing a few lines. First, player in white. Okay, I think there's no need for the other eye. Let's do the other player. Okay. Yeah, no, it's not really clear, but it looks, I think we all agree that, the player in white is going to head the ball and the ball is dropping towards him. I mentioned that, the one on this guy on the right-hand side might try to nick it, but, that could be a possibility. But at the end of the day, we judge, by the eye line of the players. I think, based on the, when you look at, closely first, at this player, you can clearly see, some whites, on his eye, which is telling me that he's looking steeply. And also we can see his, head is tilted backwards. So yeah, so not only we can see the white of the eye, but also his head is tilted, is tilted backwards. So as I said, we've got a cluster of 4 here, and we've got Rene and Nigel a bit more on the left. So Nigel, you're the further on the left-hand side. Can you explain your position?
Yeah, sure. I felt that from the body language of the players, that there was more time until the ball arrived. I felt the player in orange is trying to close that gap, and the relaxed language of the player in white meant that there was time as that ball dropped, and hence it wasn't right on top of them. But,
okay.
I'd be interested to see what does to the average to remove the 2 outliers. Yeah, certainly.
Yeah, okay. We'll see that in a second. Rene, also, you went, quite, far on the left-hand side.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's similarly to Nigel, but I just felt that, obviously, because the player in white is looking quite steeply upwards, I just put mine a little bit more centrally and a little bit more higher, as I felt that's the direction the player in the white was looking. But I'm the same, where I felt like he's got more time to potentially, it looks like he's going to chest it, in my opinion. He's got more time to bring the ball down than maybe the cluster is suggesting, but that's why I put mine a little bit further up.
Okay, I understand that. But based on this, the eye line of his player, the direction he's looking at,
yeah.
I think if he was far away from him, I believe, it would be maybe more on this line. You know? Do you agree, or?
Yeah, I agree with that. It's probably a bit further, a bit more central. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's remove, for the moment, Rene's cross and Nigel, just to have an idea of where the average would be. So if we remove you 2, we've got an average which is in the middle of the 4 other crosses, basically. And if I put the cross on the average, it covers basically the 4 crosses. So I think it would work, for the 4, who pointed the center of the ball here. What do you guys think, Peter, about the average as it is?
It's interesting that the Rene's and Nigel's, the distance away from the player in white, I agree that I think it may be coming over to the left. So those 2 crosses were more in line with the other 4. But a distance away, that would work. But I think the two on the far left do drag it out too far if he had the average on all of us together.
Yeah, okay. So what I'll do, I'm going to remove the lines, and maybe we're going to draw some lines, some fresh lines for these two players, just to see. Sorry. I think, also what I'm going to do, I'm going to put both crosses to see. I think, when based on this player on the right-hand side, I think we are, more or less all in agreement, is looking towards this direction. I think, the difference between the four of us and Rene and Nigel
is a player in white. Yeah,
that's correct. That's correct.
Yeah.
So
if the other two crosses, they were on the line of the orange line that we just drew, it would make more sense to be there. So I think I agree that we should remove the other two crosses.
Alan,
yeah.
Can you just put the ball over the average cross where it is now?
As it is now. To me personally, when you look at this
what do you think? Yeah.
To me personally, when you look at this player, I think he's looking steeper. If you put the ball there. What do you think, Liam?
It's an interesting observation by Peter.
Yeah.
My judgment was that, again, I agree with you, Alan, that the steepness of the guy in the forefront in the white shirt of his eyes, and when you focus the little ball on him, you can see that his eyes are up.
Yeah.
And then it's, the guy in the orange, again, he's given us that pathway, and it's interesting that we're all six of us are pretty much on his pathway, which is the blue line.
Yeah.
But then it's about the judgment of the height. I accept what Nigel and Rennie are saying, but I just think it's dropping in. I think his eye line says that it's just upright. The ball is more, the ball is more hanging down into him rather than over towards the left.
Yeah. Because the thing is, you understand your point, Nigel and Renee. He looks very relaxed, and there could be sometimes, for the ball to come and hit, drop to his head, but then he would be more in line with, this orange line, I would think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Alan, why don't you move the ball in line with the orange eye line and just bring it above it slightly, above the four.
So
with the ball, that's it, yeah.
Around here. Slightly higher. Okay. The thing is,
not.
I think what we are judging is it's about where it would make sense the position of the ball to be, and when I look at these two, for me they are too far.
Yeah.
And I think personally, I think it would make sense to have the average in the middle of the four.
Okay.
I do agree with you as well.
Yeah. Okay, let's remove the two again. I think he cover, I think when I put the ball, I think, for me, it's more doable than, when I put the crosses back, having the ball, mainly based on the play in white. So, Renee, Nigel, are you happy, to move towards the right?
Yeah, I think the ball needs to cover as many of the judges as possible, and that makes perfect sense.
Yeah,
Right.
over the majority, that's fine.
Okay. So, if everyone is happy, so we're going to judge with the average as it is now. So, if you're happy, can you put your hand up?
Yeah, happy. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, we're going to judge with the average. Okay, Alex, we've made our decision. We're going to judge with the average.
Thank you, judges. If everybody's happy, Alan, please can you click submit? Thank you, judges. The selected coordinates are 1260881. These coordinates will now be passed to the auditing company AZETS to calculate the winner of the competition, and they will then inform best of the best. That concludes the judging process. Thank you.